I don't think there's a single thing I enjoy more than a game completely absorbing me, something that I can really sink my teeth into. Those quick gaming sessions that magically transform into 3 or more hours, getting utterly sucked in and immersed in a completely different world, are some of the most memorable and enjoyable times I've had in my life. Absolutely getting lost in a Rimworld colony only to realize I've been playing the same game for 2 months straight, or binging the entirety of Persona 5 Royal like I was 2 times watching through an entire TV series. But what happens when those marathon sessions, the month-long gaming streak, just ends? You finished the main story, completed all the objectives, or you finally got bored with the gameplay loop. What you've looked forward to for weeks on end is gone. For me, there's always this familiar feeling of hollowness, a faint heartbreak sensation that takes over my body. How can something as simple as a form of entertainment, a video game, impact someone so emotionally and borderline physically? Why do I feel empty after finishing something I enjoyed so much? I think the core of those emotions that you feel, that heartbreak, can be better understood or at least studied through the world of psychology. Very obvious yet necessary disclaimer, I am not a psychologist, nor do I have the proper insight to discuss the stuff that goes on up here, but as a human and most importantly a gamer, I have experienced these emotions for years and have ruminated and reflected on that empty feeling more times than I can count. I've come to realize that each emotion I feel after finishing a game can be attributed to a specific stage in a mandatory grieving process I must go through before I can enjoy a new game. For this informal theory, I have broken the process down into 5 stages. You know, I think I might be the only person to start their YouTube channel on a stepladder in their living room with a projector, but you know, I figured that I'd try something creative for my first video, and this is what I came up with. So I hope you can see. You fall in love with a game, you play the hell out of it, you complete it, and you have this sense of emptiness as you realize it's over. A hesitancy to move on comes in as you realize, shoot, I wish I could just play that game again. I could wipe my mind of it. Lingering memories of the beloved. Maybe you want to play a new game, but you realize, shoot, it's not gonna be the same as this one. It's not gonna be the story won't be as good. It won't be as immersive. It won't be as engaging. And then finally, after it all, acceptance and birth of a new favorite game. Needless to say, this is a very dramatized and potentially esoteric version of this process, and one may feel this to less of an extent, while some may feel it even greater. Every person's experience with these stages will be drastically different, with a multitude of differing variables and reasons for feeling the way they do. Someone ending a parasocial relationship with their favorite character will be affected much differently than someone mourning a gameplay loop that is no longer a part of their routine, for example. So, if you will, my fellow lover of all things video and all things game, join me for a descent down the hollow hole that is the pain of video game completion. That feeling of loss rather than achievement. That feeling of emptiness, but also the quest to find the next game to do it all again. Here's your scenario. You boot up a new game, something you never played before, but hey, you heard it was pretty good, so you decide to give it a shot. The first session. You stumble through the tutorial, taking way too long figuring out the controls or mechanics, and log off a bit early. Still without a true grasp of the complexities of this game, but hey, you had a pretty decent time, so you will continue to play it later. The second session. Maybe you progress through the first mission or complete your first major task without having the tutorial hold your hand. Okay, now we're getting into it. You're starting to see the pieces fall into place. You play a bit longer than you did your first session. Okay, this is pretty enjoyable. The third session. The stars are starting to align. You are finally getting a full grasp of the gameplay loop, or you play a really enjoyable mission. Hey, this is pretty fun. You feel the hooks start to sink in. This is the first night you log 2 to 3 hours. It's clicking. This game is awesome. The fourth session. On this day, before even getting close to playing, you are thinking about the game beforehand, excited to play it later, imagining the best loadout, or planning future improvements to your base. Even just the prospect of doing this fun activity later stimulates your brain, and your future gaming session becomes a focal point in your mind. This anticipation catapults you through your workday and into your play session, where of course, it's a blast. You are in it now. The fifth session and beyond. From this point, at least once during your waking hours, you are thinking about how much fun you are going to have later when you get to log onto your new favorite game. You might have a terrible day, an insane work week, or life simply might not be going your way right now, but at least you have one sliver of positivity. Looking forward to playing your game tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, soon. Will every game you play have the same setup? Of course not. Maybe there are only a handful of games that you can relate to this similar arc of interest, but I imagine it's more than likely at least one or two instantly jump out in your mind that were at least similar to this. So the game has hooked you. Each night or a few times a week, you spend a few hours immersing and investing yourself in a creation by other humans for your human soul to enjoy. 10 hours, 50 hours, 100 hours, days, weeks, months. You may look forward to it. It may become part of your routine. It may be exclusively what gets you through the boring parts of life. Enjoyment, escape, laughs, relaxation, happiness, sadness. But then, it's over. How did we get here? Quite literally yesterday, we were having a great time. We were spending our limited free time in an activity that we enjoyed, and all this momentum in our fun has just driven us off a cliff. It's over? I'm done? There's a hole forming in my heart where the game used to live. There's not more? I can't go back? What do I have to look forward to? What do I do now? Completing or coming to a natural conclusion with a video game that has become a large part of your routine/life can be jarring. To reiterate, quite literally, one day you are playing and the next day you are not. After finishing a game, your brain is flooded with thoughts and feelings about it. Good, bad, bittersweet, melancholy, analyzing it, thinking back to key moments, the overall taste that's been left in your mouth. Your mind goes a million miles an hour thinking of it all. After thoughts and reflection, your brain may say to you, that game was great. We love video games. Naturally, looks like we should find the next one to play. But before you can do that, you feel resistance from your heart. Even just the idea of moving to the next game becomes harder and harder when you can't stop thinking about the masterpiece you just completed. You don't want to move on. You wish you could just wipe your mind of it all and experience it again. You wish you could have just continued indefinitely without a conclusion or becoming progressively bored. Your completion feels like saying goodbye to a friend that will be moving across the country, or even a heartbreak after ending a relationship with a partner. While it may or may not feel as drastic as anything/anyone who wiggles their way into the forefront of your life, the breaking of that link can hurt. Bummed out you want to be no more. It's time to try to find something new to play and to get back into doing what you love most, gaming. You may start perusing your Steam library or looking at what games you have sitting in your backlog, but as you do, you feel a faint tug yet again from your heart, preventing you from doing so. This can last hours to days to even weeks. Inevitably though, we are able to break through this mindset and at least have a desire to play something new. But once you are willing, boom, we instantly run into that sliding glass door of a new set of questions and internal problems. Comparisons start getting thrown around. Well, this next game probably won't have as good of a story. Or, this next game is only 5 hours. How could I possibly be as invested when the last one was 100 hours? Figuring out exactly which game to tackle next gets a lot more tricky when you are constantly chasing something that will scratch that similar itch. Maybe you end up being lucky and the game you just finished playing has a direct sequel that you can jump straight into if you have interest there to play more of the same, but most of the time this won't be the case. It goes without saying, but comparison is the thief of joy, as constant and compulsive comparing and contrasting of the new with the beloved is what turns into one of the biggest hurdles in finding your new game. Though everyone knows it's bad, it's almost impossible not to find yourself doing at least some mild comparisons to what you just finished playing. But in a few hours, days, or weeks, as they say, time will heal all, and inevitably, you will finally click launch on a new game. If you have your luck stat maxed out in the realm of gaming, you may be fortunate enough to skip the stage completely. If not, you're stuck with me here in stage 4, which begins with you sitting in the menu of a new game. You select your graphic settings, maybe tinker with the controls, select your difficulty, and hit start. Before the game has even loaded into the tutorial section, the tried and true combo of your brain and heart begin to work that magic. Is this game capable of captivating me as much as that last one? Your brain may ask. Do I even like the genre of game that much? There were a few negative reviews for this game, so it's not going to be a 10 out of 10, right? Those pessimistic thoughts from your brain may set in, all while your heart is reminding you, hey, remember how that last game made you feel? How special it was? It was a masterpiece, huh? While it's not inherently bad to have these lingering thoughts and feelings about a beloved game, it undoubtedly slows your transition into that next masterpiece. Snapping back to reality, you load into the tutorial and play through a few hours of gameplay. Things might be enjoyable and fun, but there might be a deep nook of your consciousness still thinking about that last masterpiece you just played. A few more hours and sessions in, and maybe the gameplay or story isn't quite resonating with you, or if you're unlucky, that voice in the deep corner of your consciousness may grow bigger and bigger until you decide to give up on this game. It wasn't that next masterpiece. Damn, I wish I could just be engrossed into another game again. I wish I had that one thing to look forward to propel me through my day. I wish I had that unwavering interest back in something. I wish that all-out fun would return. I wish... Before you even realize it, one of the games you booted up to try already has 7 hours logged to it. You feel those similar hooks from before starting to set in on you. You realize your hour-long sessions have flown by in the blink of an eye, bleeding into 2 or 3 hour sessions. This game is awesome. I can't wait to play it tonight or my next session. And then it dawns upon you. You haven't thought about that last masterpiece you just finished in a few hours, sessions, or days. Those beloved memories of that seemingly irreplaceable game have been put into the back shelf of your brain. Not forgotten, but merely cleared out of the way to make room for new experiences and more memorable gaming moments. That passion, fire, and unwavering love for a piece of media has returned. Enjoy and treasure this game while you can, my friend. Like all things great, it will come to an end at some point, and you find yourself back in this process. Good luck, and have fun. Thank you so much for watching my first ever video on this channel. I had an absolute blast making it, and I really look forward to exercising the creative part of my brain that has kind of been dormant these last few years. Please subscribe and join me for one video per month regarding video games and other various topics. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.